Hey, have you ever wondered what it would be like to metal detect a property that's rumored to be haunted? Or a property that was once the location of an Indian uprising? Well, if so, stay tuned, because that's exactly what we're going to do today. We're going to metal detect here this beautiful abandoned mansion. This is the Alexian Brothers Novitiate. And we're going to go ahead today and swing the Knox 800 here, see what we can discover. So if that sounds interesting to you, come on along and let's see what we can discover together.
The structure where this hunt took place is referred to as the Alexian Brothers Novitiate. Located in Gresham, Wisconsin, United States, it sits on land that once belonged to the Menominee Indians. In the early 1800s, the Menominee occupied a land base estimated at 10 million acres. However, through a series of 7 treaties entered into with the United States government during the 1800s, the tribe witnessed its land base erode to little more than 235,000 acres today. The tribe experienced further setbacks in the 1950s with the U.S. Congress's passage of the Menominee Termination Act, which removed federal recognition over the tribe and threatened to deprive Menominee people of their cultural identity. Fortunately, the tribe won back its federal recognition in 1973 through a long and difficult grassroots movement that culminated with the passage of the Menominee Restoration Act on December 12, 1973. The initial structure was built in 1939 as a residence for Frank and Jenny Peters and their disabled daughter. The Peters family had often visited friends near Gresham and had fallen in love with the landscape, so they decided to build a manor for themselves. Sadly, their daughter would not survive to see the completion of the home. Mrs. Peters, however, would live in the home for many years until 1948. The home was a Georgian-style mansion with a 2-story portico, large windows, 35 rooms, servants' quarters, and a 2nd-story balcony overlooking Freeborn Falls on the Red River. The structure had been built with the intention that it eventually be donated to the Alexian Brothers, as Frank Peters had formed a strong connection to them in his youth in Chicago. In 1948, Mrs. Peters eventually returned to New York, and the building was turned over to the brothers, with the final acquisition occurring in 1950. The building was expanded in 1954 to include new dormitories, a cloister, chapel, and other facilities. Following the reforms of the Second Vatican Council, the brothers ultimately decided to move their operations to Chicago, putting the novitiate building up for sale in 1969, with the last brothers moving out in 1972, with only a caretaker staying behind. Attempts to sell the property stalled for several years, until 1974, when the property was offered to a group of Indians from Green Bay for an unknown nominal cost, with the intent of converting it into an alcoholic rehabilitation center. However, on January 1, 1975, an armed group of Menominee Indians called the Menominee Warrior Society seized the property and took the caretaker and his family hostage. The independent group was inspired by similar takeovers done by the American Indian Movement, AIM, at Alcatraz and Wounded Knee. They demanded that the novitiate and property be turned over to the Menominee Reservation, claiming that federal law allowed them to retake the land once it was no longer used for religious purposes. The National Guard moved into the area and sealed it off behind several checkpoints. Local law enforcement cut off power to the novitiate, which resulted in pipes freezing, causing extensive damage to the property. Tensions ran high as shots were occasionally exchanged and negotiations largely stalled. On February 2, 1975, the standoff ended with a deal between the brothers and the society. Fearing that the incident would end like similar situations at Kent State and Attica Prison, the brothers instead chose to sell the property to the Menominee Reservation for $1. The standoff ended, and the 39 members of the Menominee Warrior Society were arrested. The month-long standoff resulted in no fatalities or major injuries. Since the standoff, the novitiate has struggled to find a purpose in the area. The Menominee Reservation was unable to maintain the building and surrendered their claim to the property within a few months. In October 1975, a fire severely damaged the building. The old mansion remains a popular site for kayakers along the Red River. The rapids the mansion overlooks have become known to many as Monastery Falls, in reference to the novitiate. The property has changed hands many times, though no substantive improvements have occurred. What an incredible honor it was to learn about the rich history of the location and to spend a day with friends rediscovering some otherwise lost history.
You want to leave this place where we grew up, this old town, just put it all behind. Remember you and I would always find somewhere to hide when we were kids, so we could see and hear the water run. The river's gonna cry when you're gone.
Okay, 6 inches down. Not a great signal, but diggable signal. We just had some rain, which is great, but still want to be respectful of the land here. All right, not sure what that is. Looks like a piece of copper maybe off of gutter or something like that. I think this is the location here of the caretaker's property, the old caretaker's property, not sure. This ground is a lot more moist than the other side of the house here. Let's see if we can turn up here. Okay. Piece of scrap. This is obviously, yeah, this looks like a piece of copper, and I'm guessing this is from the old section of the monastery here that was torn down. Probably a little bit of remnant, but yeah, I think that's some copper. 6 inches down, perhaps. Oh boy, I think I hit a pipe. Hear that? Look at that. I'm on something big, I think. Okay. Quite a big piece here of iron, I think. Has some interesting color to it, that's for sure. Door hinge, I don't know. All right, what do you got?
Tiny little religious pendant thing.
Oh, outstanding. It looks like a St. Christopher maybe or something like that. Love it.
And
Well, this is certainly an interesting find right here. This was ringing up as a 16 here. 16, 17. And we have a shell casing here from a 45 automatic, which I believe is what the guard carried. This may have been from part of the siege here when the Menominee warrior Indian group took this facility and the caretaker hostage for a period of time, and gunshots were traded, and the siege went on for over a month long period. So most likely a shell casing from that period right there. Okay, so it's still in the hole. $16, $17, what do we have here? Okay, we got another one here. This one you saw me dig live here. Another 45 auto, so another casing here, another casing, same type here. Okay, within a couple feet of the first one here. This one though, you saw me dig live, so pretty sure that's a piece of history right there. That's gonna be in the plug this time. There it is, look at that. Shell casing number 3. Yeah, look at that, number 4. Same caliber. 45. Wow. Number 5. Okay, this is an interesting find. Looks to be the type of a badge you would find in like a Cracker Jack box. It's got a flap here on the back you would use to hold it to your shirt, maybe your car case, whatever, but Mattel Hot Wheels. Looks to be a red convertible on there. That's an interesting find here, a few inches down underneath the ground there. That's a high signal right there, for sure. Not too deep. Piece of trash. Piece of trash, unfortunately. Well, this is the second toothpaste container I know that was retrieved here today. My buddy also pulled a toothpaste container out of the ground. The tip of these were made out of some type of metal, obviously. Well, let's see if there's anything else in there. Ringing up high 20s. Battery? What is this? This is an old battery, indeed. I think. No. Yeah. Not too old, though. Duracell alkaline battery. Okay, I dug this right out of the ground. Interesting. As soon as I hit that, it popped right up there. Massive metal plate. No idea what that was for. Right there under the ground. Wow. Okay, another piece of flashing roof material. That type of thing, pretty darn close to the house. Heavy. think whatever it is, it's pretty deep in the ground. I am loosening it here just a bit, but it appears to be deep. Whatever it is here. Okay, I'm going to do a little digging here. I'll get back at you here in a minute. Okay, folks, I think I know what this is here. We have the remnants of a broken water line here. Broken water line, or at least a disconnected, non-functioning water line. When this property was under siege by the Menominee Indians, I believe it was in January, February, it happened to be one of the coldest winters on record at that time for Wisconsin. And at one point, the National Guardsmen disconnected or shut off the power to the facility as a tactic to encourage the individuals inside to let the captives go. And one of the unfortunate consequences of that was that the pipes burst. There was all kind of water damage to the property. So interestingly, this was disconnected, obviously, right? And not the kind of thing you necessarily are excited about finding, but that's what it is. Take a look here at the shore. I think one of my buddies here is going to do a little bit of water detecting here. Pretty darn deep right there. That actually might be a detectable area over there as well. Just beautiful though. .30-06.
Another deep one though, maybe.
That's a good. You're already down a good 5 inches there. 6 inches maybe.
This ground is soft here at least.
Boy, what a variety in the the ground, huh? Some of it's like rock solid.
Yeah, on the front it's just rock.
Yeah, something is.
Where are you? I don't know if that's what's. Give me a signal. No. Oh, feel something. Oh!
Oh my gosh, what the heck is that?
1953. Brother Innocent Doonan. Remembrance of Silver Jubilee. July 7th, 1953.
Very cool.
And pray for us
Sinners.
who have recourse to the something. To thee.
Outstanding find. Found it.
And these were down there too.
Found that by the base of the house.
Yeah, like 10 inches at least.
Copper.
Wow. Way to go, man.
Nice
Definitely the
find.
find of the day.
Thank you. Absolutely.
There might be more down there actually.
To leave this place where we grew up, this old town, just put it all behind. Remember you and I would always find somewhere to hide when we were kids, so we could see and hear the water run. The river's gonna cry when you're gone.